Okay. Our next guest has a career in event planning that spans over 30 years. She has honed her skills and knowledge as an entrepreneurial event planning consultant for the past 12 years and recently expanded her business to include interior styling and decoration. Char runs both businesses under the umbrella of Char Glatley Events, LLC, and is successfully managing both with great determination and drive. And the thing about that's really important that I want you to know about Char as it relates to having a virtual assistant is that she's a local business. So most of her, she's not a digital business like I am or a lot of the coaches that you've seen talk about the program. She actually has a local business. So I think that's important. And so it doesn't show me that you're in the spotlight. Hold on.
I'm right here.
But I need to add spotlight. There you go. So Char.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. So let's talk about your virtual assistant and what your virtual assistant does for you in your business.
So I hired Letty a year ago. I did watch all your videos and it said you should hire a virtual assistant, and I dragged my feet and then I hired her a year ago. And what I thought was really helpful is when I went through your program and you gave me that long sheet that you share with everybody about what tasks they can help you with, because like many people, I kind of thought, well, I can do everything. Why do I really need to hire someone? But when I read your task list, it really opened up my mind to think, oh, okay, I can actually, assign, delegate those tasks and I don't have to do them anymore. So when I brought Letty on, she now runs all of the behind the scenes, I guess you would call it. So I'm more of a creative person. I don't mind the tasks of stuff, but she runs the behind the scenes of the invoicing, the time tracking, the sourcing, the organizing. We're about to leave for a trip to Atlanta this week, or I am, and for next week. And she'll organize all my notes so they're in one spot in my notes so that I have like a quick VIP list of where everything is. So she just does all my behind the scenes. And I tripled my business this year because of her. One year I tripled my business. And I've been in business for 12 years for events. That's scary. Because of her, tripled.
So I remember you emailed me or messaged me and you were flipping out because you were just like, look at what she did. She created this onboarding packet thing. Like I want to hear like some nitty gritty, like specific examples, because I remember you sent me over a sample of the work and I was like, wow, like that's amazing. And she took that initiative. So can you tell us about that? Right.
So again, I like to be the creative. So I came up recently with, here's an example with, you can hire me full-time by an hourly rate to do events, decor, whatever. But I decided, well, I'd like to add these packages that are smaller so that people can hire me for a 1 hour, 2 hour, 5 hour consult. And I came up with the idea and I said, Letty, this is what I want to do. She created the graphics, the whole package, the essence of the package, which would have taken me forever to do in Canva. I don't even know how to use Canva. So she created that by my ideas. I wrote the copy and we turned it around in 3 days. 3 days. That would have taken me a good month. So that's a great example. Then last year when I added decor, I wanted to update my website. And she looked at my website and said, well, your old one's okay. And I was like, I know it's really bad. So she just created a whole new website for me and added both businesses. And it probably took her, oh my gosh, 3 weeks. And that's like 20 hours a week. And boom, all she needed from me was the content. Like, what do you want to say? What's this blurb going to say? What photos do you want to use? And she created it. Again, I would have never figured it out. So she just is she's my right arm. I'm the left arm creative. She's my right arm that gets it done and is organized.
So Anne says, Char, what was your process to train your VA? How long did it take before you felt comfortable with her work?
Well, so it's funny, during the trial week, I came up with 4 tasks. And one of the tasks was listen to my to a podcast I had done with another person, look at my current social media, which was horrible. And I think there was one other thing to read, and create 4 posts that would be in my essence, in my vibe. And Letty nailed it. That's why I hired her right away. So I didn't really have to train her because she understood my vibe. I mean, my language is even though I love corporate, that's my money is in the corporate. Like, that's my main business. I'm not really the conservative person. I like to have fun with the whole thing. So Letty got my vibe pretty quickly. And what we worked on is we spent probably 2 months together putting my vibe in the same messaging, because I didn't even understand that my messaging was all over the place. And Letty created the vibe that I wanted to exude. And she put it in my website. She put it in my marketing pieces. She put it in my customer intake. She put it in all my packages. So I would say it probably was while we were creating all those things, about 2 months to really get my full language. If that's,
I would say Char like lucked out in that department. And so, so we do have like a system for training. Let me just give you a preview. So one of the first things we show you how to do in the program is you start recording Loom videos. Does everybody know what Loom is? It's like the best tool in the world. It's a video screen recorder. It's the best video screen recorder that there is. I mean, Vimeo's is pretty good, but Loom's is the best. And you basically just hit a button and you just start talking to yourself about what it is you're just doing at that moment. It's like that's what doesn't cost you extra time, because we want you to just, wherever you are in your business at that moment, if you're going to go and open up your email, you hit record and you just start talking about it. Well, I'm in my email, and it's not a formal recording. You're just talking through whatever you're doing out loud. And if you do that every day for 5 days, you're going to end up with all these essentially training videos. Okay. So then your VAs are going to take, and I'm really giving you more information than I want to right now, but but it's important you ask the question. So I want to give you a full answer. So then your VA watches those Loom videos, and you ask your VA to create a system, right? Because a system is really just a checklist. So your VA is going to watch those videos and create a checklist. And guess what else happens when a person has to watch something so carefully that they have to create a checklist and a system? What happens, Char, when they do that?
They create it and
they learn it.
It's amazing. So for me, I didn't have really a system, because I would just take calls and go. And what Letty gave me was, well, how did you do that? Why do you do that? It said, I don't know. So she created the back end. She created the customer intake and how to set up a meeting with me, and created my whole system. And now when somebody sends an inquiry, she manages it until they get to me, and I show up for either virtually or in person to do the consult. She's run the whole thing, which I didn't have before. So that takes a lot of time off. I don't have to deal with it. So
yes,
that's really nice.
And I want to what is your Instagram? Because I want people to see your social media, because it's
Char Glatley Events.
Yeah. Char Glatley Events. And well, you did a case study today. I noticed that. And I thought that's so smart and strategic. And I just thought that was really good. So Letty is doing a great job with Char's social media. And I have to say, like, social media is the first thing most people want to get rid of, and have someone else manage for them. And she does you do a great job with your social media, and she also does a great job with your social media.
Again, I like to write. I like to write the copy. To me, I like to be punny. She gives me the graphics. I might come up with an idea, and then she'll send me the graphics, and then I like to write the punny copy, whether people get the jokes or not. I think it's fun.
Yeah, you're pretty funny. And how are you navigating the time zone issues? What are her hours, and like, how do y'all do it?
So I feel badly because it's in the middle of the night for her, but she is now a full-time virtual assistant for 3 or 4 clients. So this is her time frame is in the middle of the night now, but we usually work noon to 4 Eastern Standard Time, which is probably 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the Philippines. So, but it works because I get tasks done that I need to get done in the morning that may have come in after work yesterday. And then I get it done and get organized. So then when I log on with her, it's better when we do a team or a Zoom meeting, then we can just get work done and it's very organized. And then if we have to take breaks, which we only probably meet once a week, and that's my fault, but then we take breaks and we get tasks done. Like next week, I will probably be offline because I'll be working an event all week, but she has a bunch of tasks to do while I'm gone.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I want to pause where you said, I feel kind of bad about that. I have to stress that you don't have to feel bad about that, because so many people in the Philippines, the Philippines has to work with the United States. And that means that, in all sorts of industries. And so it's really not unusual for people in the Philippines to work that shift. And I always say to my CEOs who are going through and interviewing VAs, they say, I feel so bad asking them to work like, these hours. And I just say, well, and guess what? Some people won't, but if they tell you they can, that means they can, and they're grownups, and you just,
Right.
You take them at their word, and you don't have to feel bad.
Right. She has clients before me and after me. So I'm not keeping her up.
Great.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Does anybody have anything else you want to share? Any tips? Anything that I should have asked you about? And y'all in the chat, please ask questions if you have any for Char while she's here with us. She is a local business. So she's working with someone in the Philippines for her local event planning business. Now she travels all over the place, but my point is she's not doing a digital course. She's not an online coach. She's a person who has to show up for meetings in real life, do real PowerPoint presentations, and have proposals and all of that stuff. And Letty is handling that for her.
Jen, it actually helped me reformat my business a little bit because I was local and I was doing a lot of local events, and then having somebody virtually who's not in my time zone made me think more outside the box. And that was part of my reasoning of why I started these mini packages, is because I realized I don't have to be present. I just helped a client in California, 2,400 miles away, with her logistics and her event. Because again, I thought, I don't have to be local. I can help anybody anywhere. So these packages and consulting for events or for ambiance logistics, whatever, can happen anywhere, anytime.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. And that is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. So thanks to you with opening my mind up for saying, broaden your life. And it did. I mean, it's expanded my business now.
Yeah, that's amazing, Char. And Anne said, thank you, Char. Great info.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, let's run through real quick and see. Our next guest is at 1:30, but we're going to be here to answer questions. But now is a good time. Char, do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to share with us before we go on break?
I just wish I knew about this 12 years ago when I started my company, and I'd be somewhere in Fiji, retired by now. But no, anybody who's on the fence, it's the best thing I ever did. And everybody I tell who asks me about it, it's funny, they think virtual assistant, is that an artificial assistant? No, it's a real person. It's just so brilliant because my mind is not bogged down with the stuff I don't want to spend time doing. My creative mind is like free flowing, and I've done the best work in my life because I'm not bogged down with all this stuff that's like impacting my creativity.
Do you remember what you were most maybe worried about before you signed up? Like, did you have any reservations? Like, were you concerned about, I don't know, affordability or having enough tasks or any of that stuff before you started?
Oh, for sure. I was really worried about when am I going to, because I was buried. When am I going to find the time to delegate some of this stuff? Oh, this is going to be a pain. I'll have to teach her. I'll have to like manage her. I don't want to deal with that. And if you find the right assistant, which I did, she has access to my work emails. So she knows things come in. She knows how to manage them. I don't manage her. I mean, we jokingly, I keep wanting to call her boss, but she won't let me, because I told her when I hired her, I said, your job is to manage me and you're like my boss. And she didn't really love that, but I just think it's true. So it like, I had no fears after I realized how capable she was and what she could bring to my business. But all my fears of, I'm going to have to be a boss to somebody, I'm going to have to deal with this. Oh, I mean, none of that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So Latoya says, Latoya, you accidentally have your messages turned on just to me. So nobody else can see them. So just on the drop down, you just want to switch it. So I will read it. It says, hi, Char, how many VAs did you go through until you found the right one?
Well, I did the trial week and there were 4 candidates. And after day 1, with giving that one task of create 4 posts for me using all these, and there wasn't really that much information I gave them. And I knew right away, Letty was it. I knew right away she was it. And so I let go of the other 3 and hired Letty after the first day. And
yeah, and
I've
that's in
a year.
It's been a year now. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, over a year. Yeah.
So this is important. What Char said is, this is like, one of the main cornerstones of this program is that, and why it works so well is that we have you run your candidates through a trial week. It's a paid trial week. Okay. And we show you how to duplicate your trial week in triplicate, quadruplicate. Like I said, I had 8 people going through a trial week last week. They're doing it individually. They don't, they don't necessarily know that there are other people in the trial week. And so you're able to measure everyone's work, apples to apples, right? To see how people are doing. And you don't, and sometimes what will happen is you'll get on day 2 and immediately someone in the trial week it'll be very clear they're not your perfect match VA. And then I show you how to politely and gracefully let them go. You pay them and you let them go. And then by the time you get to the end of the trial week, it's usually really clear who your perfect match virtual assistant is. Also, Latoya had a question, which was, it was a tax question. Oh yeah. How do you handle reporting wages to the IRS? Are they considered 1099? No. We had talked about this earlier, but we've been here for a while. So I know a lot of people are just joining. But here's the thing. I'm not going to give tax advice, but what I'll tell you is that these are not employees. Okay. This is a business expense. So your tax advisor will let you know like how to categorize it, but they're not 1099s. They're not, you don't need a 1099 for them. And this is true in the UK as well, but there's a different form that we give you. It's a W-8-BEN, I believe. And we have that in the program. And so we have you treat this relationship very much like an employer-employee, but kind of the beauty is that you don't have to worry about the tax part of it. And you also aren't obligated for health insurance, medical, or any of that. So you don't have any of those headaches. However, I show you how to build it so that they do get benefits, right? Like when eventually after you're together a year and you move to a salary model, I show you how to add in and how to calculate sick days and vacation days and all of that. But yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. That's as far as I'll go with the tax talk, because I'm definitely no tax advisor. Okay. It's already.
Jen, I will say this. I was really nervous when I was going through your program because I had 60+ responses from my initial job posting. And I thought, I kept thinking, oh, I am never going to find this. This is going to take forever. And seriously, every step along your program narrowed down the people till I found the perfect one. And I may or may not have believed it when I had 60 people come in, but I was blown away that your program was so perfectly organized that it brought me down to Letty. And I don't know how you did it, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely a true system. It's definitely, it really is a system. And I just tell people, like, when people get caught up in overthinking, which is my superpower, I can overthink the best of them. So, we preempt that by saying, like, do not overthink it. Just do what I tell you to do, which if I had other people guiding me like that in all aspects of my life, I would be in good shape. I just want someone to tell me what to do. Do you know what I mean? So I do. I say, do this first, do this second, do this third. Use this template, copy this email. It literally is, you are not thinking. You don't really think until you get to your, to the interview part. That's when you're going to have to make some, you're going to have to be a little more thoughtful about things, but up until that point, it really is cut and paste.
And also don't shortcut it. Don't shortcut it.
Oh, you have to do the number one rule, and I say it in the beginning, is you have to watch every single video, but I kept the videos at 5 minutes or less. So literally, even though the course is, like, we call it a 4-week program, it doesn't have to be. It could go as fast or as slow as you need it to. But if you were to just sit down and end to end watch all of the videos, it would take no time at all, really. The work, I'm not here to tell you that there's no work. There is work. The week that you spend to get everything in order, to post your ad and to, do what you need to do, there is work. But the idea is that you have to do this one time, because after you hire your VA, and like when Char is ready to add the next person onto her team, whoever that may be, a graphic designer, a video editor, just another general virtual assistant, it won't be Char who runs the system. It will be Letty. Letty has access to the program. Letty will follow all the steps. And then Char might step in for the interview. She might peek in at the trial week. And she'll ultimately make the decision with Letty. But, it's just, if you don't have time for this now, you will never have time for anything. I just don't know how else to say it, because you're just going to keep spinning that hamster wheel, and what I hear the most from the people who complete this program is what I also say is, I wish I would have done this so much sooner. I wish I would have thought to hire someone so much sooner in my business, like Char said, because I wasted so much time and energy that I really didn't need to waste. But, I think a lot of people, and I don't know if this is true for you, Char, but I think a lot of people have been down this road and they have ended up with what I call might as well do it myself syndrome, right? Like, oh my Lord, like, I have got to explain this to you again, and the mistakes and the back and forth and the emails, and they're like, I'll just do it myself. And I think we've all been there. I have been there. Right. And so this was my answer to that problem. Like, let's just be one and done, please. Right. Because I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. Because it's just, there's other stuff I'd rather be doing.
Exactly.
All right. Any last words of wisdom before we take a break?
On me, from me?
Yeah, from you.
Oh.
You're in the spotlight.
Oh, yeah. Again, just do it. I just keep saying it. And I laugh because I tell people just do it. But my tattoo is why not? And just do it was taken. So just why not? Like, when you ask yourself, why aren't you doing this? Why not do it? You know what I mean? Like, why shouldn't I do this? But why not do it? Just why not do it? It's worth every 4 weeks, money well spent, whatever you want to call it. It is worth it, because again, I never thought I could triple my business, and I did this year. And now next year, I can't wait. So just do it. She's brilliant. Just do it. Ambiance logistics sounds interesting. Oh, Char, ambiance logistics sounds interesting. What is it? Can I read these? Sorry.
Yeah, you may read them. Yes.
Well, I help people. So I think a lot of people, this is my smaller packages. If you didn't want to hire me hourly for a big event. So a lot of people, for instance, they want to have a party. So this friend of mine had a party, this client of mine had a party in Coronado, California, 2,400 miles away. And she said, I had a party for 75 people coming and it shot up to 150. I don't know what to do. So I got on a call with her virtually, just did a Zoom with her and helped her logistics figure out how she's going to fit 150 people in her space and then how to create the ambiance. Because I think a lot of people, whether you get your home redone, with decor or you're setting up for an event, a lot of people don't understand one of the key items. Two key items for any successful event is ambiance. It's got to have the right feel. And secondly, logistics, because there's nothing worse than bad logistics. Do I need to go to a buffet? Do I need to, you don't want people waiting. I mean, another example I just did was an event. Sadly, it was a funeral, but I went to the venue and they said, oh, well, we're going to have this buffet down here. You're going to have 150 people. We'll do this buffet. And I thought, why would we have a buffet at a funeral? This is ridiculous. So I said, no, I'm going to do logistics. And I put a table 4-sided so that people could come and get the food at all different angles. And there shouldn't be a wait. There shouldn't be a buffet. So that was just a tweak in logistics to say, a lot of people don't think outside the box of taking away the buffet and making it a big, huge, large display of food that people can hit at any given time. So I want tons of plates and napkins and the same food on all different sizes. So logistics to me is really important, and ambiance creates the mood when people come in. So those two things are like you can have a great house that's been redone, but it better have great logistics and nice ambiance. Same with an event.
That is definitely your superpower, among others. Okay. Well, Char, thank you so much. And really, this has just been great. And, feel free to stick around or not. Folks, we are going to take a break. Before we do, let me just reintroduce myself to everyone who's just joining. My name is Jen Lehner. I'm a digital marketing and systems strategist, and we're holding this mini summit today to talk with people across industries, both local business, brick and mortar, virtual businesses, as many industries as we could find, to come and talk to you about how they're working successfully with virtual assistants in their business. It also just so happens that they have gone through my signature program, Front Row CEO, where I teach you how to hire your